Hello, hello, hello. It's Kyle Shannon with the AI Learning Lab. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're doing well. What day is today? Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Tuesday the 20th. 10:17 p.m. Do you know where your children are? You have to be Gen X to remember that. That was a TV commercial. When parents were so negligent, they had to run TV commercials to ask the parents if their kids were in the house. Anyway, this is the AI Learning Lab. Other than talking about Gen X issues, we like to talk about AI things here. I just got back from an AI Salon we had here in Denver. It was really good. We had a guy named Christian Robbins, who's the chief creative officer of a post-production house, talking about how he used generative AI in the work that he's doing and how it's transforming how he does his work. So that was pretty fascinating. I am an entrepreneur, and I am not an AI expert, but I have an AI channel. Why is that? I've started, 12 or 15 companies in my day, and I see some really dramatic parallels between the early days of the World Wide Web, which I was a part of way back in the day, in the mid-90s, and what's going on right now with generative AI. So I kind of started this channel as a way to talk about it, demystify it, share what I'm learning, help other people learn. Wow, it looks like a whole bunch of people just showed up. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. These URLs behind my head here, they're really just here more as a public service announcement than anything. Chat.openai.com. If you've not played with ChatGPT, that is the official ChatGPT website. If you haven't tried it, go there right now. While you hear me ramble, go there, chat.openai.com, and start playing. Ask it to write you a poem, ask it to write you a song, ask it to write you a meal plan, and then turn that meal plan into a grocery list. Try that. Just do anything with it and see what it does. And when you pick your jaw up off the floor, then we can talk. Come back here. If you have questions about AI, pop them in the comments below. Hey there. I can't read because I'm wearing a bad shirt for this, but someone said hi, hello. So I couldn't read your name. Bing.com, that's Microsoft's search engine, but if you click on the chat button, that takes you to GPT-4, which is ChatGPT also, and it's connected to the internet, and it's free. And then Poe.com gives you access to 6 different large language models and a bunch of chat bots of all different flavors. It even lets you create your own bots there. These other 2 things, Prompts.chat will teach you about prompting. Futurepedia.io is a directory. I think there's almost 4,000 AI tools there. So if you want to run down rabbit holes, go there. But I have that there. When people ask me really specific questions about tools, I just point them there. So that's what all that stuff is. I'm the co-founder and CEO of a company called Storyvine, where it's an automated video storytelling platform. I'm happy to chat about that. But anyway, pop some questions into the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. Like I said, I just got back from a salon, so I'm a little crispy. I'm a little tired, but I figured I'd get on here, say hey to you folks, and let's get in here and talk AI. And I'll have a lovely hydration beverage. 32 ounces of vodka before bed. Works every time, like a charm. All right. Let's see. Hello. Hi, Kyle. Hello there. He lives. I know. I had a salon tonight. I was busy. I was out with the people, if you know what I mean. How do we know you're not AI? I could be GPT-5. It's very possible that I am a simulation. It's very possible we're all in a simulation. Have you taken a look at the Schumann Resonance lately? Tell me we're not in a simulation. Tell me. What could possibly do that? Other than Russians, sending signals to the sensors. Other than that, nothing. The Earth is ascending to a new plane. We are ascending to a new plane. Fantastic, Bob. Tell him what he's won. We lost everyone. My little joke down there on the Schumann Resonance, that sent people packing. So anyway, if you have questions about AI, pop them down below. I'll do my best to answer them. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. All right, let's see. Ba-ba-dum-bum-bum. Is there a free AI that can draw a model up? I don't know what you mean. I want to make a dry garden cage. Oh, draw a model up like CAD. I don't know of any AI specific to CAD. You could go to something like Midjourney and have it render a design for a garden cage. But if you're actually looking for, drawings, renderings of like plans, I don't know of an AI that'll do that. But go to futurepedia.io, and it's possible that there's something there that does that, because that's the kind of thing. Putting a large language model sitting on top of a complicated software like CAD software, that's going to be increasingly how we see these large language models used. So I think that's coming. So it's very possible that futurepedia.io will have something there. What are the legal implications of AI? Oh, they are many, they are deep. It is completely unclear. I assume you're asking, will I get sued if I use it, or can I copyright if I use it? Not clear, not right now. If you're talking about the image generation stuff and you're talking about using generative AI for images in a business, I would strongly encourage you to use Adobe Firefly or generative AI within Photoshop, because Adobe has trained their image generation model on public domain and Adobe stock images that they own all the rights to. So I would do that. When it comes to the word stuff, less clear. I wouldn't worry too much about it right now, unless hang on, I gotta sneeze. I'm gonna sneeze. Yes. I was trying to say the word yes, and I sneezed at the same time. So I went, yes, chew. That was pretty good. Anyway, the legal stuff's just completely unclear right now. So unless you're doing something where you really want to copyright something, or there's really lots of legal risk, I just play with it. The next 20 years are going to be nothing but lawsuits in both directions. So I'm not worrying too much about it right now. I'm trying to find grant funding prompts. Do you know where to find them? I don't know where to find them specifically, but one of the things that you might want to try is take the grant request, language from the grant request, and then language about your nonprofit, and put them both in ChatGPT. Say, here's a grant request, pop it in there. Here's information about my company. Can you give me an outline, or can you give me an opening paragraph for each of the sections of the grant, and see how it starts doing. So you can start doing it like that. I know that there are new AI startups focused specifically on grants. I've heard of them. And again, go to futurepedia.io. There's a bunch of tools there, so you might be able to find something there. Quite honestly, what I would do is encourage you to just go to chat.openai.com, start exploring, start learning the tool yourself, and you'll probably be able to figure it out, because it's incredibly powerful. And if you get good at asking it for things, it gets good at giving you answers, including that. Chew, thank you. That's a great idea. We'll do. Are there any optimization opportunities? Are there optimization opportunities in GPT algorithms? I am not a data scientist. I'm not quite sure what you mean. You can take long pieces of data and tell it to compress it, so you can optimize the core data of a prompt, and then you've got more tokens in the context window to play with. But I assume that's not what you're talking about. If what you're talking about is can they make it smaller and more efficient? Yes. Go look at what's happening in the open source community, where they've taken the Llama large language models and they're training them and, quantizing them. They're doing a bunch of stuff to optimize them and make the models increasingly smaller, but still maintain a high level of quality. So that's happening right now, more on the open source side than on the OpenAI side. I would imagine that OpenAI right now is prioritizing getting to AGI, artificial general intelligence. They're prioritizing that first, and then they'll get to optimizing it second, because they have Microsoft sitting there going, take all the compute power you want. Here's $10 billion. Now, Sam Altman says he thinks they need $100 billion to get to AGI, so they're going to be using some more GPU cycles in the old Azure cloud services ecosystem. All right. Llama LLM, can you give some idea? I don't know what you mean. Can I give some idea? About what? About which of the Llama LLMs, the open source LLMs? I can't, because I stopped paying attention to it, because every time I thought there was a really cool open source large language model, a new one would come out like 2 days later. The last one I paid attention to was one called MPT-7B, which was an open source model that had a 65,000 token context window, which is 45,000 words, 48,000 words, something like that. A lot. And then 2 days later, Anthropic came out with Claude 100K. So Anthropic came out with their version of 100,000 token model, and that's at Poe.com. You can actually go play with that. If you subscribe to Poe.com, I think it's $20 a month. You can play with their 100,000 token model. I would look at a project called GPT for All, where you can install basically like a large language model container on your local machine, and then use different large language models. But I haven't been following them enough, because they're just moving too fast. I can't keep up. I'm too tired. I'm tired and I can't keep up. The open source community is moving too fast for me, and I move fast. I'm zippy, but I can't keep up. So I don't know what to tell you there. I used ChatGPT today for helping with VLOOKUP Excel formula. Saved me 20 minutes of trial and error. Yeah, doing Excel formulas, which, like, you know, when you're in Excel, you've got to figure out some formula. You're like, I don't remember this stupid fucking formula, and you go to Google and you're like, how do I find this formula? And 20 minutes later, you're still trying to find the formula on Google, and you're down all these SEO rabbit holes, because it's a nightmare. And then you just go to ChatGPT and they're like, I want this cell to do that to that cell. And it's like, here's your formula. It's amazing. So that's cool. Glad that you did that. I made a story up with ChatGPT. I put in a ton of details. Is it 100% mine? Can I monetize it? Yes, you can. They're not going to come after you for that. Whether or not it's actually copyrightable is different, but can you sell it? Yes. But I would go, listen, I ain't a lawyer. I have a degree in acting, so don't believe me for shit. I lie as much as ChatGPT does. That's not true. I don't hallucinate that much. I would go look at their terms of service, but I'm pretty sure that you've got the rights to do whatever the fuck you want with it. Now, can you actually copyright it? That's between you and the Copyright Office, and you have to prove that there was human contribution involved, significant enough that you cross whatever their fucking arbitrary hurdle is this week. Like I said, this intellectual property stuff's going to be a bit of a disaster for some time. But yeah, go put it out there. Like, there are so many GPT books out in the world right now that ain't no one coming after you, in my opinion. Not my legal opinion. Poe has a decent app too. Yeah, they do. They have a pretty good app. Thanks, you're good. I appreciate the kind words. All right. There's just a handful of us in here. Hope everyone's doing well. If you have any questions about AI, pop them down below, and I will do my best to answer them. I'm trying to think what we talked about today at the salon, at the AI Salon. Here, let me show you. So the salon that I'm talking about, you can find information at it about the salon here, the salon.ai. There's a link tree there. It's got our meetup. We meet every other week, and then we have an online Discord server where you can geek out and ask questions and play with Midjourney. And then if you go to Twitter, this is a newsletter that I put together with a guy named Greg Mushin, and we do threads about news articles, and we have a newsletter, and we just go nuts. We go nuts. So anyway, but that's some of my stuff, and yeah, I'm paying attention a lot to this here AI stuff. There's Emilio's wife. Best shirt yet for reading text, Mr. Shannon. I know. This is like one of those Rorschach tests where you're just like, I can't do it. It hurts my eyes. I know. But what are you going to do? I trade futures. Have ChatGPT help you figure out some analysis with the futures. Toss a little data in there and have it give you some thoughts on it. It's pretty good at that stuff. It analyzes data real good. How did you know my vocation, Mr. Shannon? I never said that. What did I say? What did I say your vocation was? I forget what I said. I'm tired. I was doing a salon tonight, so I did 2 hours there. Then I went out, grabbed a drink with salon people. Then I came home, and now I'm on here. So I'm like, my brain is, what do they call it? Mush. That's a technical term. All right. So what else? What else is worth talking about? There were one of the things we talked about at the salon. There were 3 different news articles that I saw kind of in close succession that I thought were pretty interesting. One of them was a post by Ethan Mollick, a Wharton Business School professor, talking about this concept of secret cyborgs. And the secret cyborgs, what he basically says is, generative AI tools are really good for individuals to dramatically increase their productivity. So within companies, there are lots of individuals using AI to get way more productive. But the organization itself, because it doesn't have data policies and it hasn't quite adopted them yet, and it might not even have a position on if people can use it, the organization itself is not using AI. So you have these secret cyborgs within the organization, these employees that are getting AI literate, but they're not talking about it to upper management because they don't want to be fired. They don't want to admit that they can do in 4 hours what used to take them 20 hours or 40 hours. And so there's this big disconnect. So that article came out. And then there was an article in Fortune magazine that talked about AI is here to stay. And CEOs know what to do. They need to come up with AI data policies, and they need to make sure that their entire staffs are AI literate. So it's basically, this is Fortune magazine, right? Really mainstream business magazine saying this stuff's here to stay. Get with it. And then I saw another article about the White House is prioritizing generating significant AI policy to make sure that we're all safe and we ensure that we are inventing and innovating and all that sort of shit, but still being safe. So those things kind of all add up to me to say that as overhyped as this AI stuff is, it's starting to get normalized into the business conversation. It's starting to get normalized as this is a foregone conclusion that this is going to be everywhere. So that's part of the purpose of this channel, is just to talk about it as if it's coming. Because it is. In fact, it's already here. Look to your left. Look to your right. One of those people is really good at AI. One of those people is ignoring it. Don't ignore it. All right. Are there any salon people here too? I don't know. Possibly. Any salon people in here? Your brain is mush. You're never zippy. Did you see Congressman Jeff Jackson's TikTok today about AI? I did not. What did it? Why? No, I didn't. I was at work today, especially if those employees are working remotely. Yes, they may not want to. Emilio's wife, I can't read anything because of my shirt. Why didn't you tell me I shouldn't wear a shirt like this? Oh, you tell me that every live. They may not want to say they now have free time. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what that article talks about. The Ethan Mollick's article talks about is that these secret cyborgs. They're like, I'm not telling the boss that I'm getting this shit done faster. Now, the kind of sad and ironic thing is, as long as people are stingy with their knowledge of what they're learning. Like the entire organization could benefit from that. What Malik says in that article is the bosses need to basically make it a safe zone for employees to say, hey, I want you exploring AI. I want you sharing what you're learning. I'm not going to fire you. There's going to be no bad repercussions if you're learning this stuff. So, yeah, like, get with it, bossy bosses. Mike, you in the live? All right. As a national speaker, as well as one who funds for films, where do I start? As one who finds funds for films, where do you start with AI? So the reason that I have these 3 sites here, you can ignore the bottom 2, really. I would start, if you're brand new to generative AI, to ChatGPT, if you've not played with ChatGPT, that's what that URL is, chat.openai.com. Where I would start is go there and start playing. And by playing, just ask it to do stuff. You find funds for films. Go ask it about films that you care about. Ask it about the plots or the characters, or have it compare, I don't know, It's a Wonderful Life with Blade Runner, and compare the major themes between them, and create a table for you comparing the major plot points and themes of those 2 films. What else did you say you do? You're a national speaker. Have it help you put together outlines for keynotes, or take an outline for a 1-hour keynote and turn it into a 20-minute speech or a 2-hour workshop, and just watch what it does. So just start playing. The other thing you can do is this URL here, Prompts.chat. That's a document that it's called the Awesome ChatGPT Prompts document. The top half of that document talks to you about how you prompt ChatGPT. The bottom, most of that document, is all these individual prompts where you tell ChatGPT to act like a certain persona. Act like a screenwriter, act like a mathematician, act like a psychologist, act like a nonprofit fundraiser or a film fundraiser. And it will give you a sense of the depth of what's possible with that single tool. These other tools here are just variations on the theme. So if I were you, I would start with chat.openai.com. Just go start playing. If you hear other people talk about this shit, it's way scarier and way less impressive. It's scarier because we hear, the robots are going to kill us, right? We hear the Hollywood shit. We hear, they're going to take out humanity and whatever, all that shit, which seems really scary and intimidating. And then when you hear someone talk about it, they're like, well, there's a text box and you put some text in it and it squirts some text out. And you're like, well, that's fucking Google. So is this like Google? No, it's not. It's what Google wants to be. It's actually not, because Google doesn't want to actually give you answers. What Google wants you to do is click on the 40 fucking links they put up there, because every time you click, they make money. That's what Google wants. That's not what ChatGPT is. It is an incredibly capable. Think of it almost like this: you have a free personal assistant, or not a personal assistant. You have a free intern that works beside you, and it's the smartest intern you've ever worked with in the history of interns. This is the smartest one. And start interacting with ChatGPT like it's an intern. Hey, I just got in from a long day. I haven't booked a speaking gig in, I don't know, whatever, a month. I have the summer off. Can you help me come up with ideas for how to book more speaking gigs? Out it'll come. Just start interacting with it like it's an intern, a really capable one, and then just see what happens. That's how I'd do it. So, anyway. All right, listen, I am exhausted. I hope this helped. I was just here for a half hour or so. I'm normally here for like 2 hours, but I had a big, long salon tonight. An AI Salon. Let's see. Last one. Becky. I viewed 322 slide decks from Michael Bay. I wondered if they used AI to produce the slides. Well, possibly. If they were submitted in the last 6 months, probably. What I would say is this. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Not only can they write that shit with AI, you can read that shit with AI. Take the text of those, turn those things into PDFs. Here, I'll show you how to do something quick. Let me show you something quick here. Now you're gonna have to do this. You're gonna have to pay for the plus version of ChatGPT. But let's see. Are we going to do it on ChatGPT? Well, yeah. Let's see. Turn that off there. In ChatGPT, if you pay for ChatGPT Plus, you get access to regular ChatGPT, but you also get access to this thing called plugins. And if you go to plugins, the way they work is you can install all these different plugins. There's a plugin store where you can go find them. And then in any given session, you can activate up to 3 of these. And one of them is called AskYourPDF. So you could make PDFs of those pitch decks, and then you get a URL, like put it on Google Drive or something like that. Get a URL of that pitch deck, and then you can, let me go find a PDF here. Here's one. So this is a white paper. This is scientific white paper. So I'm going to take this URL. I'm going to go over here. I've got AskYourPDF plugin enabled, and I'm going to say, okay, based on this, and then I'm going to paste in that URL. Please give me a 10-bullet summary of the paper. And it will now fire off this plugin using AskYourPDF. It's basically going out, looking at it. It's pulling in a summary. It's now, I don't know, I think off reading it or something like that. Yeah, it just got back a whole bunch of content. And now it's writing me a 10-bullet point overview, summary of this paper. I can stop generating there. I could say, turn that summary into a Hollywood logline. In a world where complex visual-based tasks challenge AI, AssistGPT emerges as the multimodal AI assistant, integrating advanced tools and pioneering a new approach to reasoning. With its ability to plan, execute, inspect, and learn, it outperforms benchmarks and tackles real-world applications, setting a new standard in the realm of AI technology. Okay, it's not the best logline in the world, but it understands shit like that. So you can take, things like those 200, what'd you say, 320 pitch decks for Michael Bay, and automatically knock out a bunch of these. The other thing you can play with, one of the other sites I have up there is this site called Poe, P-O-E. And so Poe, one of the models that it's got, so it's got these different models you can play with here. One of the models it's got, if you subscribe to it, is called Claude Instant 100K. And do I still have these in here? Yeah, so I pasted in, so what all this text is here, I pasted in the entire script of 2001 Space Odyssey. So that's the entire screenplay. And then I asked it, what are the 2 main characters and what happens to them? Dave Bowman gives you the bullet points of what happened to Dave, how he had a little run-in with Hal, and Frank Poole. And then I say, what are some interesting lines that Hal says to Dave? And it pulls out some quotes from the screenplay. So I'm literally copying and pasting an entire screenplay in, and then I can pull out details from that screenplay. So, So, if they're writing fucking screenplays using ChatGPT, you can read their fucking screenplays with ChatGPT. Oh, we have fun here at the AI Learning Lab. Bitter? You betcha. Listen, I've written 7 screenplays in my life. I've optioned 2 of them. None of them have been made, so I know that world well. And I have ADD, so the fact that you can read the fact that you could even consider reading 320 outlines of Michael Bay potential films is that's miraculous. So I'm gonna have to pay for it now. Yes, yeah. So I would say either pay for ChatGPT with plugins and then use the PDF plugins, or pay for Poe and do the Claude Instant 100K. I personally, which one would I go with? Well, if you want to start interacting with complete screenplays, probably Poe. But I think ChatGPT is just a better tool. It's just a better tool. So I would go ChatGPT, but if you can swing $40 a month, pay for both. That's what I'm doing right now. I can't really afford $40 a month, but it's, I have access to the most powerful, writing technology in the history of mankind. So it's kind of worth $40 a month. I pay a lot more for that than for, my shitty car. All right. What are your top 3 AI for creators, video and audio? I don't know the video and audio world well. Video, you should definitely be, if you're not playing with Runway, Gen 1 and Gen 2 from Runway ML on the video side. On the audio side, I don't know. There's a kind of an AI-driven loop composition tool called SoundDraw, which is okay, but it's loops. It's not generating original stuff. And then I really don't know. I would just go to futurepedia.io, look in the music section, and just start running down the fucking rabbit holes one after another, and until you find something cool. I would sort them by user ratings, because that site now has like 4,000 AI applications in it. It's completely intimidating. It was daunting. The numbers had me cross-eyed. Yeah, I'm sure, Becky. Yeah. I'm serious. Like the ability for you to very, very quickly, sort through one of those pitch decks, if they're pitch decks, or if they're sending you actual screenplays, or even if they're just outlines, the ability to quickly summarize them and give a couple of bullet points of, you could even ask it shit like, what genre is the screenplay? What's its closest, contemporary of produced film? Like you could probably very quickly come up with you probably already have a report that, Mr. Bay expects. So you could probably just create a pretty specific prompt for ChatGPT, toss an outline in there, hit squirt, and out will come a report for that. And then if you've got 320 of them, have ChatGPT generate all those reports, take the 10 most interesting ones, and actually read those. Like, that might be an interesting way to attack that. Act as a TikTok live streamer and teach me about AI with humanistic elements. Yeah, that's good. You can make money with ChatGPT. My brain is useless tonight. I got nothing here. I got a little screenplay shit because I know that world. All right, listen, I'm out of here. I hope you all. Wait, I'm in the position of having Mr. Bay's camp asking my guys for the money. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Well, you still got to sift through a bunch of turds to get to, an interesting script or two, don't you? Right? Because they're not giving you 320 scripts because they want to make 320 movies. They're giving you 320 scripts because they're hoping that somewhere in that pile of crap are 5 that don't suck and 2 that actually have a chance of getting funded, and 1, maybe, just maybe, gets funded and gets made. Right? I mean, isn't that the numbers? Like, even if they're coming from Bay's people to you? I could be wrong. I haven't been in the business in 25 years, but that's a rough business. But hey, man, if you got the money, you wanna fund a TikTok channel? we got ideas. We could be making some things. All right, coolio. Well, I hope this helps. Subscribe or join or whatever, follow, whatever the hell you do on TikTok. I try to go live once a night. Like I said, I did a salon tonight, so I'm a little crispy. So I'm going to cut it a bit short because I'm tired. And hope you're all well. Have a good night. Peace out, everybody. We'll talk soon. See you tomorrow.